Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
This is cause number 22-39327, State of Texas versus Mac Edward Brown. Mr. West is here representing. This is a case that's pending, right? What are we here for?
It's a status, Your Honor. He has been approved for Veterans Court. He's going to be starting in February. I was told by Ms. Chase or Ms. Malfino. Sorry, old name. So we just need to bump it down the road to see status down the road if he's still doing well in Veterans Court. But
that's my understanding from Mr. Eckhart. It's his case. He's running elected.
What's the loss on this? Restitution? What was it?
I think the check was for $257, I believe. $257.77. Trying to see if it was actually.
That's not what the complaint says. The complaint. According to him, he did it for somebody else, a black male named Graydon Wilson. He deposited the check in his account in exchange for $50 in cash.
Yes, sir, but the check that was written was $257.77. I'm trying to see if it was actually cash. It was deposited.
You know, John?
I don't know.
You don't know anything about whether there's restitution here or not?
I don't know. I don't think there's restitution. I thought it was recovered.
Oh,
That's the impression I got, but I'll go with whatever the state says for sure.
I'm trying to see.
But obviously, if there is restitution, then we understand that has to be paid back. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, when? This is over 2 years old. Going on 2.5 years old. I just wish, like in federal court, there was interest tagged onto it. That would only be fair. But it's not, but it's only fair. There's a loss of money when there's wrongdoing and people just get their money. They just pay dollar for dollar when it's a restitution. There's no cost.
Yeah, Your Honor, that's what I was understanding. My understanding is that they cashed a check, but then it got reversed and it got taken back out of his account. So in less than 24 hours. Okay, he said within less than 24 hours they deducted it back out of his account or negated out the deposit.
Once again, there's the uncertainty here. The defendant deposited his check into his Wells Fargo account for mobile deposit, then withdrew the cash and returned it to this other black male named Wilson.
Right, Your Honor. What I'm saying, within 24 hours, it was deducted out of his account. And
that's not in here. I know what you're saying, but
and again, in Mr. Laird's defense, is not his case. So
with this kind of.
I'm trying to see. Here's
in these cases, there's little or no money in accounts like that. When stunts are pulled that way.
Usually, I understand, Your Honor.
I'm not sure it was ever paid. You can look right here. Here's where the deposit was right in. I'm not sure it was ever taken back out. Yeah. Looks like somebody got $220 cash out of the ATM somewhere.
Where are you getting any information that they took it out of his account?
From him, Your Honor.
That was my understanding.
You know, if you only had any credibility.
I understand.
Yeah, no, you're a forger. You forged. You also have a prior conviction for drugs. You're a felon. You have no worthiness of belief. We're going to have to verify anything that you would say, especially under these circumstances. And you're saying that, but if I find out the records, which the bank records would be accurate, if they're not saying what you're saying, your bond will be revoked. You understand me? Because
so that's what
I'm sorry. I was speaking.
You
can, let me speak. And then she's got to take that down. And when you speak over each other, then she can't do her job as a court reporter. And we all get in trouble. Now, if you're going to tell the court some things that aren't accurate, that you would know because these are your actions. We find out differently, you're not worthy of being trusted with a bond. And you'll sit this out in jail till we can complete this case. But if the bank records will be far more believable than anything that you would say out of your mouth. And if the records aren't showing that, then now the records have a date, a particular date, I guess they go through, but we need something, we need to verify from the bank that they did not cover the loss by taking the money out. How much, what was the balance in his account? Are you, is that his account?
Yes.
What was his balance when that exchange, he put the money and then took it out? What was the balance in his account?
He had a balance starting at about 90, looks like $94.
You see, they don't have enough money to take out. They couldn't take it out.
Well, he had
But there isn't any
deposits come
money
in
out.
later. I mean, it's.
Sir?
There was deposits come in later. He had regular deposits going into his account. So, Your Honor, my suggestion or my request is let's reset it. Let's get the bank record to show that it was taken out. If not, have him bring restitution to the DA's office for that amount, one of the two. And then also, since he's getting Veterans Court, we can reset it to February anyway, and then see if he started that, and then have the restitution either paid or proof that the restitution is not owed, one of the two. We'll get the bank record
Well,
to see.
Here's the deal. Veterans Court was something that the district attorney's office deemed was appropriate under circumstances. But I don't think they're factoring in what's happening today in front of me. I mean, that's a break given to somebody who's worthy. I don't like what I'm hearing. If this is to be believed, you're not worthy of passing by criminal law responsibility by using Veterans Court to behind a forgery, behind falsification to the court. You're not getting it straight to this moment, sir. I don't believe you. And until I can verify things to my satisfaction, we're not moving forward on a Veterans Court deal.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're looking at, hey, you're looking at up to 20 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes.
20 years in prison. And you're going to flirt with trouble by not being straightforward with this court? You have not learned in the past. Did you go to prison on this drug case?
Yes,
How long were you in prison?
2 years, a little less than 2 years.
You didn't learn a lesson about wrongdoing has consequences? But being forthright with being forthright. Look, I caught you in a false statement already.
Can you explain, Your Honor? He had a little explanation. Just tell him
What I meant, Your Honor, was I had the money in the account and then I withdrew the $220, but the account was closed, but it had a negative balance and they pursued me for that.
What do you mean they
So,
pursued you?
I mean, I had collection agencies calling me,
Okay, so then what?
but I can make restitutions.
No, but collection agencies calling you doesn't take care of the loss.
But I didn't.
I hope they hound you to death.
But I didn't want to say that I made further deposit because he said.
That's what-
That didn't.
No, that's a fair reading of what you told us, sir. That's what you tried to sell to us. That's why we verify things with people who are charged with crimes like this, because this is all about deceit. Anybody that bold to pull a stunt like this, and they happen a lot in this court, they'll tell me a story. That's why we verify things. But anyway, we're bogged down on this.
Right.
I want to review this in 2 weeks.
and then have him pay the restitution on that day. That had the court's opinion.
If the restitution is owable,
Right.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And there's nothing that the district attorney's office shows in its records that that the bank did not absorb a loss. And if he had a negative balance, where in the world would they get the money? They wouldn't get them, they couldn't get it from him. So it's logical that it wasn't paid back to the bank for its loss, which is only fair and just. 2 weeks, I want to review this
Sounds good.
and I want to, but besides, before you leave, we're going to test you before you go to make, because of your drug history, to make sure that you're not walking around in a
Sure.
daze. Sit right over there. Thank you. Terry Young.